This is Bofades, and he is locked in ZF until he earns 1 million gold from this dungeon and this dungeon alone. Hi everyone, welcome back to the series where we are locked in ZF until we earn 1 million gold. Today's episode is going to cover runs 151 through 160. Before we get started, let's see how we did overnight. Alright, looks like we made 1,740 gold overnight, mostly from trade goods. Thick leather bringing in 477 gold, greater eternal essence bringing in 537. Outside of trade goods, we sold all these backpacks. We sold a pattern for 163 for the big voodoo pants, which we get a lot of, and a recipe for the elixir of giants for 190 gold. Let's go ahead and get all that in the bags, see where we are. All right, that puts us at 108,749. However, that's not where we're starting today. One of the tunes that's connected to this challenge, part of Bofades' warband, had 2 sales last night. Recipe for thistle tea, which we got in one of those lock boxes, sold that for 6,448 gold. And then we sold a griffin piece finally, a male belt for 2,800. So together that's 9,263 gold. Let's go ahead and get that in the bags. All right, so we've paid ourselves and we are now up to 118,012 gold, which means we're almost 12% of the way through this challenge. Slow and steady, am I right? And speaking of slow and steady, if you watched Socrates' video yesterday, I think he's feeling very confident that this challenge is already over. In his first 100 runs, he was able to loot 3 different super items, one of which is a fast seller. And so there's a chance that he might get a little arrogant, a little cocky when it comes to this challenge. And so what we might have on our hands here is a tortoise and the hare situation between him and Bofades. Bofades being the hare, obviously. Hoping that slow and steady wins the race. Speaking of super items, before we start, let's take a look at some comments. The first comment says, "You keep mentioning super items. For those of us who aren't up on the gold making scene, could you please expand on what a super item is? From what I can tell, it's something that's very rare that will eventually sell for quite a bit. But how do you know an item is super or not?" Loving the series. Okay, so when it comes to super items, these are typically items that are obviously incredibly rare to get. Scarlet Monastery, for example, has several, one of which is the Fight Club. So when you look at the region market value average of the Fight Club, you see that it's 5.5 million. US regions, though, it's 3.6 million. And when you look it up on Undermine Exchange, you'll see that there aren't many across US realms. And that's precisely what makes it a super item, is that there aren't many of it available. It's really hard to get. And so since there aren't many available and it's hard to get, it's highly sought after by elitists that are trying to fill out their collection. So when you look at all the percents here, this is my ATT collection across all these different dungeons. And there are several people out there that want to 100% the game, and they try to get 100% of all the items that might drop in a dungeon. So for me, when I look at Scarlet Monastery of old, normal, I am only 7 of 20 of the items. And for me to 100% this, I would need to have all of these. And so these types of items are always sold to elitists or completionists. And whenever they get down to just a few items, they're willing to fork over a ton of gold. Same thing can be true for this item, Miner's Hat of the Deep. You can find this in Older Man. There are 11 across US realms. You can see that it goes from 550,000 to 5.8 million. There are people that would buy this today for 550,000 because they're willing to put it back on the auction house and potentially try to get that 5 million or 3 million or double it or whatever. And if that's you, if you're wanting to flip this, it's on Moonguard right now. Go for it. Next comment says, "Hi mom /waves. Bazman J here has left this comment on several videos, so I wanted to kind of give him a shout out here, a highlight. Let him say hi to his mom. And our last comment from Emily here says, "Hardcore WoW is so fun, especially the gold making. Each gold feels so impactful." Yeah, Emily, in my hour of playtime, I can definitely sense that. Like, I was getting excited over, like, white drops, like white armor drops that I was getting. So I definitely could see that the gold making scene might be kind of exciting. Down the road, that might be something that we look into. Or if Classic Plus finally officially becomes a thing, we might look into the economy of Classic Plus. But I will say that retail is probably always going to be my main version of the game to play. All right, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and eat our fried bonefish. Let's load up Loot Appraiser. And we really, really need a good day today. We need something good. So wish me luck. Rageclaw Cloak, our first green that dinged. So we are about to... Rageclaw Boots. We're about to hit our first level in the monetization journey of this YouTube channel, where we can set up channel memberships. Oh my god. Whoa. Is that our first glorious piece in this challenge? The glorious shoulder pads? We also got the Ironhide breastplate. But anyway, back to the membership question. Is that something that people actually do here on YouTube? They buy memberships kind of like they do on Twitch? I mean, I know it is something they do. I follow one person that like gates some of her videos behind membership tiers, which is something that I don't vibe with at all. But I do like the idea of potentially, you know, like supporting a creator that you like, right? and potentially getting something back in return for your support. But I don't like channels that are just constantly trying to extract as much money from their audience as possible. I don't vibe with that at all. So basically what I'm saying is that I'm gonna set it up, but like I don't know what I'm gonna offer there. So I guess I might need feedback from you guys. Like, what would you like as a part of a membership here? I'll tell you right now, none of the videos in this series or any dungeon series I make will be behind a paywall. I'm just not gonna do it. And everything I'm saying for this channel is gonna be true for Socrates' channel as well. Got another rune ring, 10k market value. That's a formidable belt. Bloodlust Breeches, 21k market value. Tyrant's Helm, 5k market value. Bloodletter's Scalpel, I think this is our second one, maybe. 10k market value, or 21k market value, 10k on this realm. So I am starting to notice that a lot more items from here are starting to show up on this guy's auction house. And there was a comment from someone on Socrates' channel about potentially sabotaging Bofades here, which I think is hilarious. Griffin Mail bracelets, guys. Look where we are. Right here in this little stretch. First round of vendoring there netted us 411 gold. Another black metal cake. Wind Chaser wraps. Bloodforged helmet. Bloodwoven mask. Typically, if blood is in the title of the item, it's a good item. It's worth posting. Brutish breastplate, 34k market value. Venom Shroud mask. Going back to the super item conversation, there aren't really any super items from here that I can get. Dark Phantom Cape. But there are 3 big boy epics that Bofades has access to from this place that Socrates doesn't. They are the Skull Flame Shield, Tibu's Blazing Longsword, and the Blade of Hannah. Tibu's Blazing Longsword is actually featured on some of the cover art of the game back in like 2004. And I've never looted one myself. I think that'd be cool to see in this challenge, right? Bloodforged Sabatons. I think we'll get to 1 million gold before we see a Tibu's. Windchaser Woolies. Bonecaster Spalders. Another plans for the light Earthforged Blade. Another plans for the light Earthforged Blade. Another pair of Spell Shock leggings. I think this is our third. Pretty sure it's our third. You might be wondering why I'm always kind of like guessing about the like how many of an item I've gotten, when TSM clearly shows you, tells you exactly how many you have and who has them. Well, I'm basically guessing because I turned that tooltip off while I'm running these so that you guys don't see exactly where all my items are. That's just a protocol I put in place to prevent creator benefits. Me just trying to ensure that a lot of you don't go out and buy some of these items just to help me out. Because I set out to make this feel raw and authentic, to show what a transmog farmer's journey would look like if they were to only farm one dungeon. And I think it's been pretty real so far. Transmog doesn't just like fly off the shelves, right? The sales trickle in day by day, which is precisely what we're seeing. Another pair of Bloodforged Sabatons. Lunar leggings. There is a slight chance here that Bofades is on a small slump. Warbringer shield. Bone Link shield. E-Lunarian cuffs. Bone Link wall shield. 16k. Alright guys, that does it for these 10 runs. Let's go ahead and sell some stuff real quick. Alright, probably our worst 10 runs of the challenge. I can't remember a number being lower than 592k looted item value in an hour. As far as our best items go, according to Loot Appraiser, we have the E-Lunarian cuffs, the Heroic Greaves, and the Glorious shoulder pads. If only these are the legs, right? The cuffs look like this. I guess we can't see them. They're 97 across US realms, 1200 on the low end, 53k median. Yeah, these are like, I think these are right here, 4,000 or less. So Loot Appraiser is baiting us with that data right there. Next up we have the Heroic Greaves. They look like this. And they apparently share appearances with like 15, 16 different things. 91 across US realms, 950 on the low end, 58k for a median. Yeah, I would say these are 9,000 or less. And lastly, we have the Glorious shoulder pads. Like this. 178 across US realms, 2,500 on the low end, 55k for a median. Yeah, probably, I would say this is correct right here, 15k or less. So yeah, not a great 10 runs. We did get a couple blues, the Bloodletter Scalpel, Spell Shock leggings, Dark Phantom Cape. Rosaletta just waved at me. I will wave at you back. and the black metal cape. And I think this data is good enough for us to look at. 10k on this realm, 21k across US region, 16k US region on spell shock leggings, 7600 on this realm. Region sell average is below 1000. Dark Phantom cape, 150 gold region sell average, 3700 market value across the US region, I guess. And lastly, the black metal cape, 796 gold region sell average, market value is 9k. So yeah, this just happens sometimes. Sometimes the runs are just not good. We did, however, get several blood pieces, and I think these are going to be the things that kind of like save these 10 runs. We got 2 pairs of the Sabatons. We got the breeches. We got the Bloodlusty Paulets, the Blood Forged helmet, and then the Blood Woven mask. So even though the looted item value says 592k, this is probably a, I don't know, maybe a 30 to 35k run. And that's 30 to 35k that might come in over the course of like 4 months. So in the very beginning of this, I promised that I would show the ups and downs of this process. And it does seem like poor Bofades here is in a down moment, which I'm sure is frustrating to him because Socrates is very much in an up moment. Socrates' last 10 runs were absolutely insane if you guys watched that episode. And if you are Rosaletta and you watch these videos, go ahead and say hi in the comments. So anyway, that's how it goes sometimes. If you guys enjoy this sort of content, I would encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever it is that you do to engage with YouTube videos. We're getting close to 700 subs on this channel, which is insane because 2.5 weeks ago we were at 0, basically. So yeah, until next time, take care. See you soon.